is all about. Dr. Kahodia, thank God for Dr. Kahodia. He took us through research method in such a way that, wow, it ignited something within us in a way that it was like, but by the time we were going to start our dissertation, we already knew the way we were going. My name is Heshbon Wainaina, and I'm born again. I love the Lord and don't leave that out because that is very key to me. And I am married to one little beautiful wife. Her name is Lydia. I'm a father of two. I'm a father to a son. I'm a father to a daughter. Actually, they are in their 20s now. They've just graduated from this university, and so that's where I am. And I also work for SPU University. I work in the campus. I'm in charge actually of the university studios in terms of technical facilities. That is Nairobi campus, Limuru campus, and even Nakuru. If I would begin my journey, and especially as a student, let me say this. From my formative years, I had an uncle who went to London. Those days we used to call it the far land. And I realized, wow, it is good to go to school because you can actually enter to an airplane. But I wasn't very sure that I was actually able to do that. But I will never forget this, my class 5 mathematics teacher. His name is Francis Moya. What that teacher did, right from college, he gave me a lot of energy. And I do remember in class 5, one time I was able to express a simple fraction, 5/10 is equal to 1/2. And Mr. Moya gave me a big tick that went outside the book. And he actually told me to stand up. And I was a very small boy. I stood up and he tapped me at the back and he said, "This boy will get an A. This boy will get an A." And I was like, wow, I can get an A. So I actually started believing. And from that time, my journey changed. I started performing and performing so well, such that I did not only perform well in mathematics, I even started improving in other subjects. But by the time I was getting to study 7, I was actually index 001. I was number 1. I topped the school, and by that time, from where I came from, our school was the best primary school in the entire district. Those days were called district, and I was like that. And by the grace of God, I joined national. I went to a technical university. The best of it those days, it was a national school. And so I went so much into technical subjects such that by the time I was meant to go for my A levels, there were a bit of challenges. And I ended up in a mid-level college where I did telecommunication engineering from the grassroots, technician 1, technician 2, technician 3. Then I went for my higher diploma. I went then for technical training. I'm a technical teacher. And I never wanted to be a teacher, but that's why I found myself in. And I came to love teaching, especially when you realize you're helping a student from one level to the next level. And then what happened was, by the time I was leaving the middle level college, because I was working with the government, I was at the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. Those days I was there, I was teaching, I was working as a lecturer, but I joined university as a technician. I started by Desta University, then I went to St. Paul University, to Nazarene University. I started with the Desta University, then I went to St. Paul, I started with the Desta University as a technician. And then I went to African Nazarene University before joining St. Paul University. But I knew I needed to do something. I needed to advance. So I tried it a bit at this. It didn't work. When I went to African Nazarene University, I tried a bit. It didn't work. But when I came to St. Paul University, after working for some time, I realized there was an opportunity, especially because of the tuition waiver, which I had not found in those other places. So I actually applied to go back to school at the technical university. I wanted to do a Bachelor of Technology, which was available then. I tried twice. There was an opportunity. By the time maybe the class was offered, on this other side, I wasn't ready with my sponsor. And when the sponsor was ready, the class wasn't picking up. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, I cannot keep on waiting like this. And years were going. And as I was thinking about it, I also realized I'm a people person. I'm a people person, so much a people person as a teacher. You also want to know that I'm also a pastor. I pastor alongside Apostle Mambili within a ministry called God 45%. And I interact with the people so much, and especially because my area is outreach ministries. I realized, then I think, besides working with machines, I think I needed much more. And with the help of my immediate boss, then Professor Kwaka Sumba, who was the first principal of Nairobi campus, she actually helped me to find my way out. And in my finding my way out, I landed on the Bachelor of Arts in Leadership and Management. Prior to that, my spiritual father or spiritual leader in the church, Apostle Odinyo Mwambili, kept on encouraging us to go back to school. Don't stop where you are. In actual fact, when you come back to our church, if you come to our church, there are so many people who went back to school because of that kind of teaching and helping us. And he used to pivot that on Isaiah 1:7, learn to do well. Learn to do well. Learn to do well. And again, in the 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse number 2, the Bible says that even what you know, even if you think you know it, you don't yet know it as much as you should. So he also captivated and the fire within me activated it, and I thought, well, it is time to go back to school. So I came to school. I took advantage of the tuition waiver, and thank you very much for our employers and for university, because we're 8 months for that. Mine was just going to remain a vision and maybe a dream never coming true, because I would look at the cost of the going back to school. And remember, at that time I have my children in several schools, and they were actually coming close to join university, so I was also planning for them. So I wasn't really a priority, but I knew I needed to go back to school. So I took advantage of the tuition waiver, and I registered for I applied, and I was given the tuition waiver, I was admitted to St. Paul University, and that is how I began my journey at the bachelor level. And in actual fact, when I was starting that journey, then I also applied some wisdom that I had learned elsewhere. And I think it is very good for people to listen to their mentors, the people who are superior, who are there before you. When they are speaking, it is important to listen to them and listen to that wisdom. Because I remember at African Nazarene University, Professor Leah Malango, who was the founder PC of St. Paul, who was the founder PC of African Nazarene University, every time the students were starting a new semester, she would always tell them, start with the end in mind. And that advice, it became part of me, because I was working with the media and I would hear it again and again and again. So I learned that, and I picked that, and every time I'm starting a project, I start with the end in mind. When I started my undergraduate, I started with the end in mind. I remember on day one I went to class, I purposed to graduate with the first class honors, and I started working it out. And I did work it out to a point that I was supposed to take eight semesters, and I was able to reduce them to 7 semesters because I was performing so well that the HOD allowed me to be taking 7 units. So I actually finished school a semester less, and I graduated with a first class honors. In actual fact, I was the best student in the Faculty of Social Sciences by the time we were graduating after the class of 2020 class. Although it was during this period of COVID, so we never came to the field, but our names were read up on the television or online. We graduated online. On the master's journey, wow! By the time I was actually graduating with my undergraduate, I had fallen in love with the St. Paul University. And I'm not just saying here because I work for St. Paul University. And I don't want to discredit any other university, but I want to say for sure there is quality at St. Paul University. Even after going through the undergraduate, I felt like my mind has expanded. I have learned, and I can actually be able now to sit down together with the scholars, even at that level. And it captivated me to go on. I knew this was not the end. I realized I needed more, and immediately I registered for the MBA. I wanted to do my MBA in strategic management, strategic leadership. I actually registered for it. I registered for it immediately, even before I graduated, because I finished during the January, April, May. So By the time we were coming for graduation, I had used my transcript. I had been helped to use my transcript to register for the program, and it had been quite a wonderful journey. The coursework level, I understood what research method is all about. Dr. Kahodia, thank God for Dr. Kahodia. He took us through research method in such a way that, wow, it ignited something within us in a way that it was like, but by the time we were going to start our dissertation, we already knew the way we were going to take. So my topic is influence of strategic management practices on National Government Constituency Development Fund on school performance. A case of Keharo Public Primary Schools. I carry a burden even as we have the vision for St. Paul University. We are not just servants. We are servants of God and humanity to go out there and live that vision outside the paper and do what I have been actually trained to do. Become a leader with a different, a leader who is impacting the society in a godly way, doing it as in actual fact as a ministry. How would God want this area be addressed? So I am going out as that leader so that I can actually take out what I learned in class now to the field and in the real life experience, even as we continue developing as a nation. The thing is, Jenga Career na SPU. Are you looking for a university? St. Paul University is not just a university of choice. I remember when the Chief Justice was here the other day, she even mentioned during that conference as the chief guest, she sees this, even as we call it, the university of choice, as the university of the future. Do you love your future? This is your place. The university of choice.